And of course I
You'd
was.
be a
And
good.
they, if you can do an American accent for the party, so I was doing that for years anyway. And it was something that I consciously made an effort to learn for years beforehand, just because I recognised. Also, we have a lot of American media over here. I recognised that it would be something that I would need, so I learnt it. I just a lot of practice, and it practice in an environment where if you get it wrong, you will be told it's wrong, because 7-year-olds don't care. If you're not the most interesting thing in the room, you're done. The party is over. I hate balloons, but like, if anyone's throwing a kids' party, do not distribute balloons because you have crippled your entertainer. Because kids love balloons more than anything.
They do. I learned that at Christmas with my nieces and nephews, whereby they're really young and they bought all these toys for them, and the kids end up just playing with the boxes or just one toy. And I'm like, why would you buy all these toys when they're only going to play with one and they prefer the boxes and the wrapping paper? So I'd be a really horrible parent where I'd be like, here's your one gift. But they would love it because they'd be focused on it and playing with it, and I wouldn't have to spend all that stuff. Or is that just me being cheap? Is that me just being cheap and northern?
I wouldn't like to comment, sir. I simply have no idea.
I'm a terrible person. All right. Do you have an annoying habit at all? What's your pet peeve?
Pet peeve. I hum when I'm pleased or I'm thinking. And I do. I also kind of do like when I'm happy or thinking about something. I have like a lot of vocal tics that I just do absent-mindedly. Then people go, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." I don't know why, but I have a lot of them. That's just 2. I've got lots. My pet peeve. Well, it's not necessarily a peeve. I understand it, but people who have the audacity to walk slowly in front of you, and they appear to be uninformed that you too have a day, and that they are impeding your journey by being sub-light speed. I suppose that, but it's honestly been a while since I've had to walk in a hurry to anything other than tonight,
which was a massive rush.
Yeah, I probably didn't even need to move location. It was probably just the update, but I thought I'd play it safe. I came to a better spot in the town with better Wi-Fi. I worked it out. Here we are.
But you were like so quick as well. Like
small town, mate.
Small town. But at least you get to chill with parents, which is awesome.
Which is lovely. That is lovely.
Because they're awesome. Reyes is in the house. She has the same walking pet peeve, apparently.
Yes.
Actually, Reyes, our beautiful Cordelia is watching.
Yes.
Yeah. You're foodie.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a great time.
You have a great time in Toronto with stuff in your faces.
Indeed.
Would you take the Spider-Man role? Oh, yeah, you'd be a good Spider-Man too.
Would I?
Yeah.
Would I take it? If I were offered a life-changing role at the head of a Marvel franchise? That's an interesting question. I think Tom Holland's doing an absolutely wonderful job, and no one's going to be taking that from him anytime soon.
He's fantastic.
If it were, I mean, it's not going to happen. If it was offered to me, then sure. But I'm not the right guy for the job. He is. He's doing wonderfully. I mean, hey, if they come and give me a tickle as like, hey, we want to have a chat with you about Hobgoblin, then fine.
Hobgoblin.
Harry Osborn. Yeah, I think I'd have a good shot at that. Depending on how, I don't know what they're doing with the multiverse though. I think I could do a good job with that character. I loved the animated series when I was little. Adored it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Look, I mean, we'll see, won't we? It would be either way. It'd be a hell of a lot of fun.
Home cooked food. What's the dish you ask your parents to make the most? Good question.
Probably my mum makes a chicken tikka masala that I quite like.
Oh, I had chicken tikka masala yesterday.
It's good. I love it.
It's what we do.
It is. Or to get in like fish and chips from the chippy up the road and just.
I do miss British fish and chips. Well, not fish, but chips.
Yeah.
Ooh. I'm so hungry now. What is it? It's 11 o'clock. I'm so hungry right now. But I've got to go and work out before I can stuff my face.
That's right, because you need to look like me, and I won't accept anything less than that.
No, because, you're my trainer, and you tell me how I'm supposed to, be in shape, and, you body shame me all the time. It's
well, that's not true.
You're like, I'll go so far.
I'll go so far. I'm very into
hold on
positive
a sec.
reinforcement.
Right, what else we got? Where would you like, we're in many quarantines and isolation, where would you like to visit after this? What would you like to do? Because you and me have traveled a bit, which was
We
cool.
have, yeah, that's been bloody lovely.
We've had some great times.
Oh, that's another habit. I do that a lot.
Like Bruce Lee.
Yeah, exactly.
It's exactly like that.
Just without any of the poise. What would I like to? I've never been to Japan. I would quite like to see that. Honestly,
I'd love to do Japan. I've got to take Lainey to Japan.
Yes,
maybe Lainey could take us to Japan.
That would be great.
Everyone should get onto Lainey and be like, Lainey, when are you taking Ricky and Bruce to Japan?
Yeah, because it's entirely her fault. You're right.
When are you going to make their dreams come true?
Sure. Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing some of the Netherlands. I've never been. I want to see the Northern Lights as well. I haven't gone skydiving yet. That's on my list. I want to do that.
I'll definitely throw you out a plane.
Yeah. You've said that to me from day. It's the first thing you ever said to me, actually, I think.
Yeah. I'd love to. Hi, I'm Ricky. I'd love to throw you out a plane.
Yeah. It was the eye contact and the firm hands on my shoulders that really sold it.
By the door on the plane on the way to Toronto.
Yeah. Yeah, those things. Those are the things I'd like to do. But,
yeah.
To be honest, right now, I would be very, very, if and when able, I'm really looking forward to going back up to London and seeing a bunch of my mates again. That's going to be great.
Do you not have any local mates, or that they more?
I do. I've got some lovely local mates here.
Because you can't do the pub thing. You can't do the normal things, can you? So it's a bit of a shame.
We can go for walks. So that's fine. You can go for walks with one other.
But like being British, our thing is, you sit in the pub and you have a drink and you talk about all the bollocks.
That's exactly right, yes. All of the bollocks.
All of the bollocks. And we say that because that's one of my... Here you go. What's your favourite word, to say? Bad words. I love... So
do you remember, they asked us this, what's your favourite British slang? Do you remember that question at the PR thing? I remember my answer and they edited my answer out. I'm not going to say it here.
Say it, because it's fine.
I don't know what the rules are here.
Well, this is basically, at the end of the day, disclaimer at the beginning, cover earmuffs for anyone underage who's not allowed to hear the language that's about to come. But if you're watching this, you might watch us from American Gods, which has got lots of penises and vaginas and swearing on.
That's true. I said, when they asked me, I just said completely deadpan, half to see what they do, and they were like, what's your favourite British slang word? And you said you muppet. I remember that was your answer.
I love the word muppet. It's
great. It's a great word. They said, what's your favourite? And I went, it's probably liberal use of the word cunt. And then just to see what they do, and probably Americans really hate that word. Most people do, in fact. I'm probably going to get some
British don't, because we use it as a term of endearment.
Yes.
You don't I'll be like, I would tell people oh, Bruce, he's a funny cunt, that guy. I love him.
Sure, there you go. That's a perfect example.
We've got motherfucker here, bugger. People saying their stuff, but it's about context, and if you say it in a terrible way, then obviously it's a horrible, disgusting word. But I do use it as a term of endearment.
Yes,
Bruce is a funny cunt. He's.
I mean, fuck is definitely the most versatile, for sure. You can put it anywhere.
I wouldn't say that.
I would, and have, and would again.
Whoa, we're treading to outrage. People are loving the word though. They prefer your word.
Yeah, well, I think it's an underused word that has some unearned bad press on a certain continent.
On a certain continent. Right. What is where is it? Oh, is it? Because obviously I was literally just I was talking to someone yesterday about it. You're the greatest, one of the greatest dudes in the world, right? But you're probably the most intelligent person I know, without doubt. You read, when you were filming, you were just reading constantly and learning all the time. So what is the most interesting thing you've read recently? These weeks, these months, this year?
So what's the most recent? I've mostly finished reading a book called Ordinary. I don't know if it's a bit of book called Ordinary Men, which is about, it's not a particularly cheery book, but it's about a group of Polish, essentially conscripts during World War II who became the most prolific execution squad of the war. It's dark, but that's been a really interesting read. And I sound like I've just started reading the Gulag Archipelago.
The what?
Gulag Archipelago by Solzhenitsyn, I think, Andrei Solzhenitsyn.
Now you're taking the piss. Now you're just making shit up.
Yeah. But that won the Nobel Prize for Literature, and that's about his experiences being in the gulags under Stalinist Russia and all the rest of that stuff. It's I think it's been translated into however. Anyway, I've just started that, and again, that's quite dense, but I do find that very interesting. And before that, I finished Tyson Fury's Autobiography.
Nice, he's a great dude.
The heavyweight champ, boxer.
Yeah.
Interesting chap. It's called the Gypsy King. It's his I think that's all his monicum and his stuff. But so those are the most recent ones I've read. I just watched part of an interview with Elon Musk actually earlier today. That was interesting. Bloody hell, he's an interesting guy. I've read his biography actually by Isaac Waterson. What's his name? I can't remember who wrote it, but I've read his biography as well.
Okay, and then anything you've been watching? Anything you've been watching?
What have I been watching?
Everyone here is like WandaVision and have you read anything by Terry Pratchett and blah blah blah? Like, I read Good Omens, so you know that's the perfect lead over between Pratchett and Neil. The God's father, Neil Gaiman.
Absolutely,
the legend that is.
I've read a lot of Neil's stuff. Most recently, I listened to the Sandman audiobook, but I've got the graphic novel omnibus, so I've read it as well. But I have been watching WandaVision. I've also been. This is gonna. I mean, I'm a giant. It's not a surprise anyway. I've been watching the most recent season of Attack on Titan, which is an anime about giants eating people, amongst other things, in a sort of quasi-Germanic society. I won't anyway. It's good. It's good. Very violent. But
I love anime. I'm a Dragon Ball Z fan myself.
Yes, sure, great.
And
that.
And the original. What you call them? Oh my god, I've gone blank. Power Rangers. That's it. Back in the Dizzle.
Power Rangers. I saw the live action Power Rangers, like back when it had Bryan Cranston in it. You know, good old days.
I used to watch it in Hong Kong when I was a kid, and it was.
Oh, of course you did. Yes.
I couldn't understand it because it was in Chinese, with Chinese actors, and then the subtitles were in Cantonese, which I couldn't read either. But I loved it.
Rough deal. Once I got when I was 15, something odd like that, I managed to burn my leg on a motorbike exhaust, and right before we were about to go on holiday, that we were on holiday in Spain or somewhere like I can't remember where it was. Anyway, I couldn't do anything other than lie on the sofa and watch SpongeBob in Spanish.
SpongeBob in Spanish.
That was my. So it's just like to me, it's just blah 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 blah. And I'm just sat there going, I hate this show. I despise that sponge. And so now I have a real deep-seated hatred for SpongeBob.
Love it. That's outrageous. Yeah. But I see where it comes from. You were traumatized. I get it.
Sure. Why not?
I just saw that. Describe Ricky in one word.
God, I've got such an open field here. Okay.
No, I couldn't do it with you.
Such dead air here. I'm sorry. I'm feeling
tough,
energy.
Right?
This is tough.
I'm not sure. You don't have to answer if it's too. Because I'm like, I don't even think I can answer that about you. So, someone watched Teletubbies in Hebrew. Wow, that's impressive.
That's impressive.
I didn't know they spoke English anyway. So,
the Teletubbies, yeah, touche.
The Teletubbies just make noises.
For the most part. Time for Tubby bye-byes. Yeah.
Who's the messiest person you know?
Me.
More than your sister?
What do you know about my sister?
I don't know what you're saying. What do you mean?
Yeah, it's probably me.
Bruce has a very beautiful,
I'm
beautiful
relatively
sister,
clean,
so
but I am messy.
Big love to the family, by the way.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll love that. Yeah, no, I'm quite messy. Yeah, probably me. I'm outwardly, any public area, I'm very, very nicely presented, all the rest of that stuff. But in my space, it's, I claim it with refuse.
Oh man, I love it. I'm trying to avoid like all the dodgy questions as well.
Are you?
Yeah.
Or are you just saving them for later? Just gonna
No,
wait till I've got a couple of whiskeys in me.
I'm being good. Someone said, "Hey, what do you know about my sister?" Oh, leave his sister. LOL. Everyone's like, "Whoa, he's on the sister train." Listen.
Yeah, that is what we call it.
Wow. No, hey, don't be talking about your sister like that.
You have no idea what I was implying. Why are you making it strange?
Wait, why are you making it strange? Listen, I'm just saying the Langley family is a beautiful family.
Well, thanks. I'm sure they'll be thrilled.
Oh, the Langleys, they got these eyes. Look at them. Look at them, people. Look at those baby blues.
Yes.
So what else we got here? We got I can't say that. What is your favorite? Okay, let's go with let's keep it simple.
Keeping it PG? You're right. We should keep it respectable. We haven't said anything untoward so far.
You said the C word.
Yes, that was implied. Carry on though. We're doing great.
What would you like to be remembered about you? As God's like, the only way for a God to die is to be forgotten. How would you like to be remembered?
The character or me myself?
Let's go with both, because that's a double whammy.
Okay. Tech boy. This is kind of omnidirectional. Do I want how would tech boy like to be? How would I like? Okay. The means and catalyst for positive change through innovation for tech boy. In terms of remembering the means by which humanity is able to attain its goals and the betterment of life around it, etc. How would I like to be remembered? A good man who is one of the best in the world at what he does.
Wow, that's decent.
Yeah,
you're up there, man.
Yeah, well, and the guy who kicked Ricky's ass that one time in public, and it got really famous.
Was that why he was asleep?
Who was asleep?
While Ricky was asleep.
Yeah, I mean,
that sounds like a crazy.
I'm not going to fight you while you're awake. What do you think I am, a fool? Drink your green tea, Ricky. Here's your honey and tranquilizer.
Mr. T, I ain't getting on no plane.
Sure. There you
You're
go.
probably too young for that, aren't you?
No, I know what the A-team is.
You used to drug Mr. T in the A-team. Or not Mr. T, it was B.A. Baracus, sorry.
Yeah.
B.A. What was your toughest scene to film?
There was some, I mean, some of this got cut around, but you never know what's going to end up on the cutting room floor. Some of the stuff around re-entering the automaton was emotionally, that had its moments. There are some scenes that come later that require a fairly dark place. But here's the thing, I love those scenes as well, because it means you get to do your real prep work, and like as an actor, you really get to play. There was a scene in season 2 that between me and Crispin that again ended up on the cutting room floor, but that one was heavy, but I loved it. Toughest one. I've never had any because you've had some real problems, challenges in terms of you've had some physical issues in terms of you're working outside and it's really bloody cold. Yeah. I've been really lucky because most of my stuff is studio based. Indeed, the only time I was outside this season was with you.
Yeah.
For a day or two. And that was it. And it wasn't
even
that
cold. Early on, so it wasn't quite.
It's fine. There's plenty coming up. I love the emotional stuff though, because it means I actually get to, really do my job. I love it. It's tough,
yeah,
but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Tech Boy, yeah. This episode we saw a lot more from Tech Boy.
Yes.
We got Musa Crash here.
Do we, Moosey?
No, he just texted me. He just texted me and said, "Ask Bruce why he used." So this is the gin, our wonderful gin. That I can't wait to get him back. Ask Bruce why he uses a posh accent when we all know he's from Ireland.
It's because I know that he finds it more alluring. I'm just trying to draw him back in. That's all it is.
It is, because we all love Musa and we all like to seduce him in many ways. Him and his fire eyes.
In many ways, that's my real goal with this role.
Was to just get in his pants.
Sure, and the rest, we'll just see. Same with you, wasn't it?
I only took the role if I could work with Musa, and if Musa was naked a lot.
Yeah, me too.
When we say, Musa. There's, whoa, no R.I.P. the gin. The gin's not dead. No one dies in this show, to be quite honest. No, come, it's the world of gods. Like,
sure, fine.
This isn't like soap opera. This isn't Hollyoaks where, you could be gone for 10 years and then all of a sudden...
What a callback.
Right? See what I did there? I was going to say another show, but then I thought, no, I'm going to keep it personal.
Yeah, sure.
Where they come back. But this is like gods, so like anyone could come back. The gym,
mostly true,
Sweeney, yes. There's some good peeps. Good peeps. Happy belated birthday, Sakina Jeffrey. It was her birthday a couple of days ago.
Oh, it was her birthday? Oh, happy birthday. Yeah. She's lovely.
Musa.
What's he saying now? Is he incredibly aroused? That's usually what happens.
He said it means you guys want to work with my penis.
I don't know where he got that idea.
But this is what we do. This is the fam we have to deal with.
We work with his penis. You're right. That is what we do. Yeah.
We have to work with that penis. Yeah.
It's a heavy load, but someone's got to carry it.
See, it's always Musa who brings down the tone.
Or does he raise it?
That little dirtbag with all the sex talk. But he does make me laugh. I love him.
Yeah,
big love.
Lovely. I love him too.
Big love. Oh, I can't wait for quarantine to be over. There he is. I love you, bro.
Oh, Musa.
Oh, M. Crash. Get following Musa Crash and his art. By the way, Musa, you owe me some artwork for my house. You promised me a long time ago, just saying you haven't delivered. Not saying you don't, follow through on your promises, but I've had to put myself up on the wall.
Yeah, otherwise you wouldn't have done it. You're right.
I wouldn't have done it. What kind of guy puts posters of himself on the wall?
Hard to say.
I'm not going to turn the camera that way.
Yeah.
Because
just a series of reflective mirrors all focused on one of your headshots that you liked.
It's actually a bust of my head.
That's better. Yeah,
it's sure. 3D, and it rotates.
Yeah. You can touch it. It's important.
Painting is ready. Musa, don't be lying to me. Like, if the painting's ready, you'll be posting it today, right? Just so I can see what it looks like. Isn't that right, Brucey?
Yeah, sorry, I was just going to say, if I drop out, it's because my battery's gone, but I'll just plug in and I'll be out for a second, but then I'll be right back. So if that happens, that's why.
No, I mean, I've had you on for a long time, and I don't want to disturb you too long because you are in England and the time zone is very different.
It's like 7 or 8 o'clock, mate. It's all right. Like, no worries.
You're heading towards 8 o'clock. I mean, if you want to stay and chat, we can stay and chat. It's fine. I'm on 48%. I got time.
Oh, look at you,
son.
Can I go for a wee if we're doing that?
Can you go for it? Why? Do you want to stay on, or do you want to?
Ricky.
Yep. In the back. Yeah, you.
Can I go to the
toilet? Okay, you can go to the toilet. Okay. See, and now we're going to talk while he's in the toilet, because now we can figure out how long he's gone as to whether it's a wee or a poo. And he heard that. He heard it. I love it. Just use a cup. I don't know what you're talking about. He loves his blah blah blah. Ricky is for. Give me some more questions from my man Bruce then, seeing as he's gone away. I want to own a house and a pool. I mean, good times. Everyone should own a house and a pool. It's the way forward. Let's throw in a yacht in there too. So he's been a while. So he would have weed by now. if he's a good boy, he washes his hands. And so that's the next time jump. You know, it's like, okay, he peed without washing his hands. He peed and washed his hands. He pooed and washed his hands. So there's 4 different like kind of things. Or he's just like one of those old dudes who just sits in there for like 20 minutes and we're here for like ever, just like waiting whilst he reads the paper in the toilet. Now that he's gone, what's the dumbest thing he's done? The dumbest thing Bruce has done, I will talk about the dumbest thing Bruce has done when he gets back, actually. You've just reminded me. I'm going to ask him. Want some Mardi Gras beads? Always. Is Bruce lying about his accent? No, Bruce does speak like that all the time. He's very posh. Do you plan on to get beard and hair after the series? I don't know. I get a beard and hair depending on the work. So we'll see. What's my favorite part of my daily routine? It's not training. I hate working out. It's probably eating. Why couldn't they have used your regular accent? British Shadow Moon would have been awesome. Because it's Neil Gaiman's book, and that's what we're doing. We're following Neil Gaiman's book, and that's why Shadow had to be a specific look, sound, build, and all of that business. So Bruce, I got asked, what's the dumbest thing you've done? Also, we're all gonna discuss in the comments which level do you think Brucey did? Was it a wee without washing his hands? Was it a wee after washing his hands? Was it a poo and he didn't wash his hands, or did he poo and wash his hands? And then we'll figure out what they think of you, Bruce.
Or option 5, all of the above somehow.
All of the above. Okay, the dumbest thing I think, it wasn't dumb. It was just like amusing, and people are saying number 4. You, me, Derek went up to the lakes.
Mm-hmm.
And
yep.
In cloudy weather, you managed to get sunstroke and bright red. Like, how did you burn? Like, none of us tanned, but you got sunstroke and were shivering.
Yeah, I had a real problem there. Well, like we got up at what 3-ish because to drive there, and fair play, you were doing the driving, so no drama. But then we arrived at 9, at which point we sat down for breakfast that was already prepared and had shots of whiskey placed before us.
Before you?
Yeah, sorry, before me. Yeah, I was like, well, here we go then. So I first of all felt like I was invincible.
Sorry, people are like, he pooed and now he weed. Number 4. Sorry, carry on.
No, these are the important questions. You're right. Anyway, so I didn't feel the burn. I was just out on like a giant inflatable thing, but I didn't move. So it was just like one area of my chest got like cooked. I was fine that day, but the next day, yeah, no, I had full on like heat stroke, and it was funny. That was dumb of me. That
you were shivering. Like we were actually quite worried about you.
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't well.
You weren't well at all. You were like red and then like, but wrapped up and still shivering.
Still freezing, covered in blankets, yeah. But I did get to have a chipmunk in my hand.
You did. Like a little Disney prince that you are.
That's right.
It was beautiful. Ricky, does Bruce take pee breaks on set? I'm sure we all take pee breaks on set. They're long days. We can get up to like 18-hour days.
If my character doesn't wee, I don't wee.
If you could be a different god, what would you be?
From our show specifically, or just in any pantheon ever?
They didn't specify. I'm just going with these questions in the comments.
I think honestly, most of the American gods have actually kind of a rough deal, but that's kind of into the narrative of the show, is that they're isolated on this continent that doesn't really believe in them. That's kind of the point. So maybe not anyone from our show. Who would I have a good time? I mean, Bacchus sounds like an obvious one with the whole wine and partying, but that might get old fast. Zeus would be funny, but you have to do a lot of murdering along with all the adultery, so there's that. I don't know. Honestly, I don't think the gods have it as good as you might think. You get all this unlimited power and immortality, but you're also very, very isolated and constantly being basically attempted to be dethroned in most stories, not all of them. I don't know. I don't know. Uranos, he's the bloke who created the universe in the Greek pantheon, I think. Before the Titans.
Going a completely different way there. I thought he was the god of urine.
Well, it's where the name Uranus comes from. Planet, Uranos, that's him.
Kratos, the god of war.
Solid shout out to a wonderful game franchise. The most recent one. It's one of my favourite games. It's brilliant. Yeah. That's gone Norse as well now. Previously Greek, now it's gone Norse pantheon. That's all very exciting. It has, yeah. There's a whole bunch of people. I won't spoil it for anyone. Anyway, yes, it's gone Norse. It's a very good game.
Yeah, nice. There was a question there and I've forgotten it now because there were so many questions that gone by and then I got distracted by your conversation. Oh, I wonder if I can find it. Hold on.
Well, you don't remember. That's the point. Yeah.
I don't remember. That's the whole point. But
yeah.
Oh, here's one. If you could take anything from set, what would it be? I think if you could steal some stuff.
What would I like? I've been instructed that I have to bring back my set chair with my name on it for Mum at some point. So I'll get that, probably. What would I like? Some of my costumes would be great. Many people have told me that I should have claimed my giant faces of myself from season 2.
Yeah.
They were like 7 foot tall